Hello, hello, hello. How we doing on this fine Monday evening? Welcome to another training from the Client Business Caddy. My name's Ty. I'm going to be your host for today's, ultimately what it is a workshop for you. So going to be showing you quite a few things in terms of getting your lead nurturing set up, how to do that as quickly and effectively as possible, and then a lot more to the client engagement and the actual qualifying and scheduling, how you can automate and save time with that as well. So, super excited to share. In addition to today's training, what I'm going to do is a limited number of participants will receive a bonus. If you stay tuned, you actively listen, and you find out the buzzword that I use here in a little bit, you can comment that buzzword below, and I will select the top three people, the first three people that are engaged in order to opt into that special offer. So without further ado, what is today all about? So really, I know a lot of you guys probably feel overwhelmed with marketing and managing all of your clients and your leads. And it can be a lot of fun to create marketing campaigns and doll up all of these offers and all of these things that you have in your mind and the vision for your business. But at the end of the day, you're really busy running your business, fulfilling on the services that you're offering, managing your team, or whatever it is that you're doing on the back end. All of those things take up time. So how can you most effectively utilize your time without running yourself into the ground, working 60, 70 hours a week just to get to a point where you could hire? This is something that will totally expedite that process. While after a couple of weeks of installing it and practicing it, you're going to be able to free up 10, 15 hours a week. So I know that you guys are busy running your businesses. I know that it's a little bit late in the evening, but if you're catching the replay, feel free to walk through all of these strategies as well, and send me a DM or comment below when you hear the buzzword, and you'll definitely still be eligible for acceptance. But again, limiting it to the three first most motivated individuals that want to get to work right away. So without further ado, going to show you some of the demo stuff, and just want to highlight what I'm going to be showing you here. Actually just took one of our clients from the end of July, Anthony, over in North Carolina, at the end of July through the month of July, in just 5 short weeks, took his conversion rate over 96%, took his scheduling rate right at 95, 96%. So, or I'm sorry, his conversion rate was in the low 90s. His scheduling rate was 96%. So 24 for 25 on Facebook ad leads to schedules, and 23 of those people converted to clients. So 24 out of 25 actually scheduled, 24 showed up, 23 converted. Awesome, awesome statistics coming from something that's running in the background, right? So going to break down the initial system that he's utilizing and that we can put together, or again, if you follow today's steps, you're going to be able to do it on your own. And the system that I'm going to be building in today is called Go High Level. Now, you can create automations in a number of client relationship management tools or business management tools. So if you don't use Go High Level, that's totally fine. Think about these principles in the same way, and I guarantee that there's a similar offer or a similar process that you can replicate. So let's get started. And again, clear benefits here. If you take the time to set this up, I'll do it alongside of you. You can set it up through these replays. If you take the time to do this, I can promise you it takes me like 25 hours to get you guys fully onboarded on my end. I guarantee if you spend 25 hours over the course of 4 or 5 weeks on your own trying to do this, you have a pretty good chance of getting it mastered, or at least to a point where you feel comfortable utilizing it, tweaking it, and therefore. But again, ultimately, my purpose is to save you as much time. So that's why I offer to do it for you. So let's get to building. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here and make sure that we're still live on Facebook. All right. Hopefully everybody can see my screen now. It looks like you can. I'm gonna go ahead and make this full screen. All right, so if we take a look here, again, I'm gonna sign in as if I am a client, and then I'll pop back in when I show you guys how to build it. But what this system is set up to do is get your speed to lead intact, and then also make sure that we're doing the best possible job that we can with follow-up. And then in addition to our aggressive follow-up with the Facebook leads, with the website leads, with any leads that come through, really, once we start communicating with them, there's even additional automation that takes over so that we can get them qualified, we can get them scheduled. And ultimately, all you have to do, check the calendar, make sure that you're actually going to be there for the lesson, because that client has a 95, 96% chance of showing up. So you'll get notified, all of the things I'll show you, but want to just give you a glimpse at what you would be doing in terms of the business operator. So again, on this left-hand side, really, you're going to see a few tools, but you just have to be managing your conversations tab. So if you're inside of your conversations tab, all we have to do is go to our manual actions. And what we'll see here is a list of our leads that we need to call for that day. Once we hit let's start, what it's going to do is it's going to send them automation saying, hey, just try to give you a call. Let's see, allow. And it's going, or I'm sorry, it's going to say, hey, we're about to give you a call. This is on a different day than day one, but let's go ahead and hang that up. Depending on how the call outcome goes, we log this here. So no answer, voicemail, busy, completed. For this example, I'm just going to mark it voicemail. And then we can also automate your voicemails so that you can do 4 or 5 different voicemail recordings, and then you don't have to leave the same repetitive message for 15, 20, 50 leads that you call for that day. So that is as simple as the process is on your end. And then again, if you want to go into any of your conversations, you have your conversations tab here. If you want to take a look at any of the data that's going on, you can take a look here. So I don't have any data in this demo account just because I'm not running actual pipelines. Let's actually see, am I doing anything with lead nurturing? Oh, I do have some data points here. So it gives you breakdown, but most importantly, that's stuff that I cover, I manage, I'll communicate with you, but most importantly, all you're doing is coming in here and making your phone calls. Speed to lead, as well as consistency, is the name of the game when it comes to converting people that don't know, like, or trust you quite yet. So let's say we called this lead, and let me actually pop back into my admin account. It's easier for me to drive when I have access to everything. So pop back in here. All right, so let's take a look at building the automation that sends out a message when somebody opts into a website form. Let's say you have a website, you have a contact me form. Let's build out that nurture sequence, and then let's show you how you can consistently follow up with them, qualify them, schedule them, and get them booked on your calendar so that all you have to do is train them when they show up. So going to go through a couple of workflows. Stick with me, and I can promise you that by the end of this, you should know how to create an automation for nurture sequences that's going to allow you to convert more clients, save you time, increase the consistency that every single person engaging with your brand is receiving, which ultimately we want that to be the world-class level, best experience that they've ever had with whatever industry of services you provide. So let's go ahead and start this from scratch. So whatever CRM you're in, again, this is Go High Level. You should be able to create automations or workflows. If you can't, I would absolutely recommend reaching out to me after this video so that I can show you how you can get it set up very simply. So let's go ahead and start from scratch with our workflow. We're going to name this website lead opt-in. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to add what's called a trigger. A trigger is exactly what it sounds like. A trigger to a gun fires the bullet. Think of it as the first domino in a series of dominoes that starts all of the following actions, or in the analogy, the following dominoes. So let's go ahead and add a trigger. For this trigger, what we're going to use is a form submission. And if I go back here, you can see all of these different triggers. I would say half of the triggers that you will use if you're doing this yourself will be a form submission, a Facebook form submission, or a pipeline stage change. That's the other majority one. But for this example, we're really only focused on form submissions. From here, we're going to choose our form. Now, for this example, I have pre-created forms. Let's say website availability and pricing. We're going to save this as our trigger. So now what that's saying is anytime this form is submitted, it's going to initiate this workflow. So I'm going to take a step back here, and we're going to go into creating a form because I realize some of you guys might want to learn how to do that. So we're going to go into add form, and we're going to go start from scratch. And again, you can build forms. I'm sure that there's online free form builders and that you can connect them to your website with a few simple steps. Go High Level is amazing because everything is in one place for you. So let's say that this is our form. We have all these different customations and themes that we can utilize here on the right. I'm a tech guy, so I'm just going to throw the tech on there. And then we can obviously customize all of these things in here. I like it better when the style is a single column. And then let's say we want to add any additional questions, payments, really anything that you can think of can be customized in here. For this example, I'm just looking for image, and I'm just going to throw my logo on the top of it here. I recommend naming all of your files, even the ones that you use. Say I don't like the size of that, just change the image width. Usually 150 works pretty good. Again, if I was actually building this out for a funnel, I would make some more customizations to it. But for sake of time, we are going to leave it as this. One thing that I'm going to do real quick, though, because it just bothers me, is make sure that our background image text is the same. And to do this, I don't know if you guys have this tool, but free Google Chrome extension called Colorzilla. I'm going to click color from page, click that. Now I have that color code copied. So let me go back down here. And looking for background. All we're going to do is, I'm on a different keyboard. There we go. So now it matches. Great, looks good. From here, we're going to always save. Then we're going to go to integrate, and this is where you can choose what kind of form you want it to pop up as. Do you want it to pop up? Do you want it to slide in? Do you want it to just be there permanently? And then you can take this code here and post it into your website builder, or some of them may be able to just do a copy link here. So now you have your form. This is your form on your website, for example. Let's go back into our automation. So again, that was just creating the form. The form is the trigger for that website opt-in automation. So now that we have our form, we have our trigger, we have the code that we can put on our website or whatever landing page that we'd like. From there, we want to create some automations. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to update a contact, or I'm sorry, we're going to create that contact. So this is kind of a boring one, but we're going to put it into lead nurturing because it's a new lead. Pipeline stage, new lead nurture. Opportunity name, we have what here is called custom values. So you can pull in their full name there. Opportunity source, I always like to put the opportunity source. And the lead value, this is what your lifetime average value for clients will be. So say 1,500. Status open because it's not closed yet. And I always like to keep this one toggled on in case people move back or forward inside of your process. Say they go from scheduling to not ready to show up. Say they go from a lead to do not disturb and back, whatever it may be. I always like to leave that checked. All right, saving consistently. From there, we have our opportunity created. So what do we want to do next? Let's create, this is where it gets fun. We create internal notification. And we're going to say, let's send ourselves a text message. So I'm going to choose myself. And I'm just going to say, hey, Ty, just opted into a website for new lead. And now what's going to happen, because I have my phone number set up in my system, which obviously you will as well, I'll get a text message anytime somebody opts into one of my Facebook forums. From there, we want to also make sure that we recognize that they sent a request. So based on the form, if you saw the form again, it has their phone number and their email, and they're opting in to receive messaging from us. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We add another action here, and we're going to type in SMS. Send SMS. Hey, this is where our custom value comes in. Custom value is just a way of utilizing code or phrasing like this inside of the brackets so that anytime that message is sent, whatever client has a contact name inside of their first name field, that will send out. So let's go back here and I'll show you again. We click custom values. We can choose a list of very many or a lot of different custom values. But for this, we're going to do contact first name. We're going to say, hey, John, for example. Thank you for reaching out. We will give you a call to discuss. And this is where you can add additional custom values. I'm just going to leave this simple and go with golf instructors and golf lessons. Thank you for reaching out. We will give you a call to discuss how we may be able to help with your golf performance. And actually, a good trick and rule of thumb here is to send an SMS saying, again, custom value. We're going to say, hey, so-and-so. And then we're going to use another custom value. We're going to ask their email. Is this email, the one that they submitted, the best way to contact you? I have, in this case, you want to have some sort of like small offer or gift. I have a program for 5 minutes a day that will help with XYZ. XYZ being whatever service they opted in for. Say they opted into learning more about the mental game of golf. We could easily put that in here. We just have a different column on the form. But for simplicity's sake, we're just going to use XYZ. From there, we want to do just a quick wait. So we can also throw wait actions in. So say we want to wait right around 10 seconds. So we'll do 0.2 minutes. That's 12 seconds. And then we're going to send them something. Now I'm just rethinking strategy on this now that we changed this intro message. This is a really good way to keep people from opting out compliantly. All right. Thank you for reaching out. We'll just leave it as this. I know it's not perfect, but again, this is just an example. From there, we also want to send them an email, right? Because they gave us their email address, and depending on the user, that everybody communicates slightly different. So again, you can use custom values here. I'm just going to use the user's email. All right. And it'll say, hey, what do you want to learn most about golf? Oops. Just making this for the example. And then here is where we get strategic with it. So one, we have speed to lead. We have them opting in. We have sending a text and an email pretty much instantaneously. From here, we want to go ahead and add them to a workflow. So what this is going to do, this action here actually takes that lead and adds them to a additional workflow. So for this example, I'm going to want to add it to my lead dialer, which is what you saw in the beginning when I went to the conversations tab. If this is, if you're tracking it all, I know that this is getting technical, but I want to do this so that anybody that wants to build automation on their own can also access and try to do it for themselves. So that is the basic framework of saying speed to lead and making sure that you're contacting people, letting them know you're a legitimate business, as well as giving them value right away as they just gave their contact information up. So from here, what that next workflow does is it takes them into your next day's call sequence, or if it's during that day, it'll notify you like it did with the internal notification, and you'll know to give them a call. The next workflow that it gets them dropped into is the power dialer. So there is a series of additional workflows here. This is what really makes the pulse and everything work inside the Client Business Caddy. So depending on how people are responding to those calls, we're getting at least 13 nurture points within the first 4 days. And we're getting additional automation if we don't get a hold of them within the first 4 days. Slows down a little bit, but let me show you what that looks like. So we have them go through the initial 4 days of calling. Say we don't get a hold of them within the first 4 days. What happens then? So if we go in here, and again, you probably won't have this many automations, but that's why we're starting to build them now. So let's see, do I have a new subscriber, or this could be perfect? So let's actually just build a new workflow for it. So the purpose of this next workflow is to get people qualified. And before I go through this, I want to drop some valuable, really cool things just to kind of get just to get outside of automations for a minute. So what I'm going to pull up next is our response. But first, we're going to title this new sub in doc for leads that don't convert after 1 week. All right, so we're just going to save that. Now let's see. I'm going to hop into automation real quick, and bear with me. I want to make sure that All right, let's run the test there. Make sure to comment below. Gimme if you are still following along. I know that this part is not the most fun to watch. This is all stuff that will happen on the back end for you without you actually needing to go in and do this. I should have had this set up for you guys, so I apologize. All right. So what happens when somebody replies to these automations? So let me go into my real-time test. So I'm going to go onto my phone and I'm going to text back and see where the automation takes us. So let's see. I just texted back in saying, hi, I'm at work. I'll give it a second to load. All right, now that we gave it a second to load, let's go back in here. Let's figure out why our text messages aren't showing up. Maybe a filter. Oh, it would help if I was in the right account, right? All right, sorry about that. So this makes a whole lot more sense. Yep. So let's show you the power dialer from the start. So we came in, we got a new lead. I opted into a website form. I left a voicemail, and that's what happened before I show you this. Sorry about that. So that's what happened. We received your request, blah, 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 for the opt-in. An email went out, and then I just got a text on my phone saying, just tried to give you a call. Is there a time that works best for you? Let's say I'm busy until tomorrow. What's this about? So in this instance, the client growth caddy is acting as a golf admin or a front desk that will handle your scheduling and your lead qualifying. If I didn't make that clear previously, that's what's going on here. So if you saw the automations, the text in blue here is what is going out from your business to the lead. So I texted in saying, I'm busy until tomorrow. What's this about? Said, no problem. How about we schedule a call for tomorrow? What time would be convenient? This call is to discuss your goals and prepare you for your first golf lesson with us. It'll be quick, 2 to 3 minutes. We ensure to tailor the session. What tomorrow's time suits you? So let me go back on my phone here. I'm off work at 3 p.m. So let's see the text pop back in here. And let's see what the business responds. Great. How does a call at 3:15 work tomorrow? We'll discuss your goals, set you up for success in your first lesson. Let me know if that works for you. I'm going to text back saying, how much is it? And this is where we can custom train the bot for you based on what your pricing is. It typically will avoid giving a direct price. It'll give them a range. So competitive rates at various packages. Asking for the call again. Okay. Yeah, sure. So let's see what it says back to that. And again, computer's doing everything at this point other than the gray texts that I'm sending in. Perfect. I've got you scheduled for a call at 3:15 tomorrow. Looking forward to speaking with you and getting you started on your golf journey. So the system is set up so that it's going to check for conflicts. Say I had something going on from 3 to 3:30, it would ask for 3:45, whatever time that we set up the buffers with. So don't worry about it double booking or anything like that. The other thing that it's going to look for is, or I'm sorry, the other thing that it's going to do is put it onto your calendar so that it doesn't get double booked, or you also get notified like we showed you in the automations with internal notifications. So awesome. Let's say, okay. Talk to you then. And now I got a text here saying so-and-so lead engaged with this sequence, because this is also me as the agency owner. So that is how you can qualify your leads. It's going to ask those series of, hey, how interested is this person? Does this person what kind of services does this person want? What's their interest level? And are they available for a call? So we can set that up. The other way that we can do it is we can automatically get them pushed to your calendar. So that is where your calendars show up, and this will be automatically integrated with your other systems. And you'll see your time pop up for 3:15. So that is basically all of the lead qualifying automations in a nutshell, really just scratching the surface with one little demo there of the initial 4 or 5 days. I would go into the next level, but I think I'm going to save that for a later training, just because, again, automations can be a little bit overwhelming and it's all probably pretty new to you guys. So if you have experience with automations in the past, comment. I love automations below, and we'll connect, and I'll show you some cool things that you can do, and you can share some of the ideas and stuff that you've got working on too. So happy to help out there. All right. So for those of you guys that have tuned around, if you guys got value from it, comment value below. If you guys really want to get involved, comment gimme, GIMME, comment gimme. That will allow my bot to reach out to you in a timely manner and make sure that we have a good scheduling, or a good, you're qualified for this offer. You're qualified to work together with me. So comment gimme below, test things out. And I'm excited to be able to not only offer you guys this service, but also see it effectively change your guys' business, your lives. Saving 10 hours a week, that's a full hour a month. So think about or a full week a month. I'm sorry. So think about what you could do with that time. Seriously, if you're saving 25% of your entire week, essentially, by not having to manage this while you're still there and present for the people that are actually using your services in real time. So let me know if you have any questions. Comment gimme below. Comment replay if you're catching the replay. Love to connect. Love to share some more of these insights, and just excited to be able to spread more time-saving automations to you guys. So let me know if this was too technical, and we will scale it back. But again, want to be able to show you guys everything that's possible inside of simple automations. And again, my favorite thing about this stuff, it's permanent, right? I always say it's like building a piece of furniture in your house. It might be a pain in the butt to put together, but that half hour or that afternoon that you did it, it gets to live there forever. And in these cases, these automations help simplify and maximize your efficiencies with your business. So please, if you have any questions at all, comment below, reach out to me via direct message, and happy to get going. Let's